little intro here. We've got Chris Gordon, who's coming to join us now. He's worked in conservation in both Africa and Asia for over 15 years now. He's on the steering committee for the Universal Ranger Support Alliance. Let's bring Chris in with us now. Hey, Chris, how you doing today?
I'm great, Joe. How are you?
Good, good. It's great to be connected. I'm glad we were able to find the time to make this happen today.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me on.
Great.
How's everything been going?
Oh, Chris, it's been a great start to the day. What are we now? We're 2 hours in. We've already been in 4 different countries. We've been with the Canine Unit at Old Pejeta Conservancy. We've been in Nepal with the Zoological Society of London. Spent some time in South Africa. So it really has been a great start to the day. We've heard a lot of great stories, and there's still 20 or so hours to go of traveling around the world and meeting rangers, talking to different organizations. So yeah, going strong for the 2-hour start.
Fantastic. Well, again, thanks so much for having me on. And
Sure.
yeah, I'd love to just take the opportunity to chat a little bit more about the Wildlife Ranger Challenge. You gave us a nice little plug there, but maybe just to give people a bit more detail.
Absolutely. Why don't you take over for a little bit, Chris? And yeah.
Can I share my screen? Is that okay?
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's walk you through it. So
okay, cool. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, the best option tends to be the entire screen if you want to make it nice and full screen.
Okay. It's not letting me. It's just saying. Okay. Yeah, I've got it. Cool.
Perfect. I see it loading up.
Can you see the screen, Joe?
Looks good. Nice and full screen. Chris, you can take over for a bit.
Fantastic. So thanks again for having me today. So I wanted to talk about the Wildlife Ranger Challenge, which is being run for the 2nd consecutive year. I guess to give a little bit of background on the value of rangers, and I'm sure that everyone who's tuning in and listening today is gonna hear this messaging, and perhaps it's slightly preaching to the converted, but we all depend on nature. There's an interconnectedness between nature and our societies and our economies. It cleans the air that we breathe. It provides the food that we eat, clean water, stores it, filters it, etc. I'm not sure if people know, but sort of 30% of the food on our plate is provided by nature's pollinators. So, nature is kind of closely intertwined with absolutely everything we do. It regulates our planet. It helps to sort of buffer us from storms and natural disasters. It helps to mitigate the impacts of climate change, etc. And rangers are nature's guardians. They protect this natural and cultural heritage that we have, and safeguard the rights of communities who depend on all of these natural resources. And so rangers really play this kind of critical role in protecting nature that we all need, but many people don't sort of understand that kind of underlying need. And perhaps COVID-19, the pandemic, has probably provided one of the greatest examples of what happens when kind of nature spills over and impacts our societies and economies. And obviously there's been large scale human health and well-being threats faced by everyone, and millions of people have lost lives, but also millions of people have been impacted in terms of their economies and their societies, etc. So the global impact of COVID-19 has been absolutely enormous, and all stems from a zoonotic disease. So we really depend on rangers. They play this absolutely critical role, and they perform a variety of roles. Many people have preconceived ideas of what a ranger does, but they protect our natural and cultural values and heritage. They protect these conservation areas. They educate people on the values that nature brings. They engage and support the local communities that live around them, and work closely together. They respond to emergencies. They monitor wildlife. They restore habitats. They do many more roles than this. And in many ways, rangers are our planet's first responders, but rangers need our help. And really the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly in Africa, but globally as well, has had a devastating economic impact on many of these conservation areas. We've seen tourism just absolutely disappear across the continent. In some places, tourism income has dropped by 96%. And for many conservation areas and many organizations that are protecting those conservation areas, they are very reliant upon tourism. And so the last 18 months has been a huge struggle. And this obviously reflects the kind of the global situation. In Africa, I think from the COVID-19 pandemic, the estimated figures are that 30 million people will lose their jobs. And if we look at the ranger sector, we've seen that over 30% of rangers have reported that they or their colleagues have lost their jobs over the last 18 months. And while 25% of rangers have reported salary reductions or delays in receiving salaries. So, our healthcare professionals, our ranger professionals that are protecting these incredibly valuable natural and cultural resources for all of us to benefit from, are under huge strain. And we've seen, many African countries that have been surveyed, 78.5% have had a significant impact on their revenue from tourism. And many of those agencies report about the same amount, 79%, 4 out of 5, report that they can only sustain their basic operations for up to 6 months. Now, this survey was done 12 months ago. So for a lot of ranger employers and conservation organizations, they are really struggling to survive. And the longer that this COVID pandemic goes on, and it's going to go on for a while longer, for many of these organizations, they are really up against it. So the Wildlife Ranger Challenge was born in 2020. I'm just going to play this video quickly, just to give you a bit of a background, and then I'll talk through it in more detail. Sorry, let me try and get the video playing.
In Africa, our wildlife conservation efforts depend on tourism. But COVID-19 has brought travel and revenues to a halt. Funds are drying up. Wildlife rangers are losing their jobs and livelihoods. Their families are struggling. Wildlife are left helpless against poachers. And years of conservation efforts are about to be lost. But together, we can reset the clock and stop the countdown to extinction. Ranger teams are uniting in the Wildlife Ranger Challenge, running a race with one goal: raising money to get thousands of their fellow wildlife rangers back in the field. But they can't do it alone. Donate to the Wildlife Ranger Challenge and help rangers support their communities and protect Africa's wildlife. It's time to act now.
Hopefully you could all hear that. Sorry, the sound was a little bit out of sync with the video, but last year was the first year of the Wildlife Ranger Challenge in 2020, and it was just an incredible event. It attracted so much interest, and importantly, the challenge managed to raise $10 million to support rangers, to support ranger salaries, equipment, operations, to really keep rangers in the field. And half of that 10 million came from an extremely generous match donation by the Scheinberg Relief Fund. Many organizations got involved. We had 60 conservation organizations from 20 countries receiving funding from the Ranger Fund. That benefited over 8,000 rangers with equipment and operating costs, and provided salaries for over 1,000 rangers. And this enabled these rangers in these protected areas to protect over 175,000 elephants and 5,000 lions. 2 million kilometers of patrols were conducted. Almost 10,000 snares were recovered. 12,000 kgs of bushmeat recovered. Over 300,000 square kilometers of protected areas were secured with support from this funding. So, it just had an absolutely enormous impact. And when we were discussing whether to run the Wildlife Ranger Challenge again this year, there was just this overriding response of yes, please. We need it. We're still struggling. We still need funds. And so for the second year in a row, the Wildlife Ranger Challenge is going to be run this year. And really the aim is to bring ranger teams together to join in a kind of competition, have some fun, develop some camaraderie, but also, to raise the profile of their organizations and hopefully to raise some important funds for their organizations. This year, we've got 180 teams have already signed up to take part from over 20 countries. There's going to be thousands of rangers taking part, and we're really happy to announce that the Scheinberg Relief Fund have come in again, and they have pledged £1 million to kickstart the Wildlife Ranger Challenge 2021, and that's going to be a match fund. So anything that is donated by the public through the Just Giving pages, either to the Ranger Fund in general or to the specific conservation areas that you want to support, will be matched by the Scheinberg Relief Fund up to a total of £1 million. So yeah, we're off to a great start. We launched the Wildlife Ranger Challenge on Tuesday this week, and we've already had some really phenomenal coverage and interest in it already. I'll just give you a little bit more detail about the actual challenge itself. So it culminates in a competition, which is going to be it's a half marathon held on the 18th of September, and ranger teams, they're 4-man or women ranger teams, come together to run the half marathon. They have to carry their kit. So for the men, they have to have a 22 kilo backpack. For the women, it's 15 kilos. And it's the quickest team around the competition. There's a prize for the winning team. But it's not really about the prize. It's about bringing everyone together, sort of developing this sense of camaraderie, as I said, and enabling all of these organizations and ranger teams, giving them the platform to raise some much needed funding for their organization. Our aim this year is to try and raise $5 million in total. And in the lead up to the September the 18th marathon, we have a number of sort of mini challenges. So we've got a push-up challenge and a sit-up challenge, and the Rangers really enjoyed that last year. A lot of fun, and we also do a kind of a quiz, a general knowledge quiz as well. So just getting everyone into the spirit, and we are hoping that we can kind of use all of those events to just kind of build momentum and build excitement towards the Wildlife Range Challenge kind of culminating event. And we really love all of the public to get involved as well. So there's many ways that you can get involved. You can get involved by actually taking part in the various challenges and running in the in the race on the 18th of September. We had a few thousand people run last year. So we're really hoping that people can get involved. If you sign onto the website, you can you can upload your times, etc., and see how you do against the competition, how you do against both the public and rangers. You can also get involved by obviously donating. So every dollar that we raise is going to help to support rangers in the field across Africa. And as I said earlier, we've got an extremely generous match from the Scheinberg Relief Fund to kick things off. And you can also get involved by taking part in the ranger quizzes, etc. Please go and see the website for more detail. It's www.wildliferangerchallenge.org. And also please support the cause, share the details of the challenge, get involved on social media. It's #4WildlifeRangers. So yeah, we're just hoping we can get as many people as possible to run with rangers and really kind of build the profile of all of the ranger organizations, the important work they do, the areas they're protecting, etc. There's some really cool graphics on the website this year, just showing where all of the teams are from and giving a bit more information about them. And if you click on the various ranger teams, you can also go sort of straight to their Just Giving pages to donate. So yeah, here's just a quick summary of the key dates. So we've got the push-up challenge on the 16th of August. We're going to have the quiz week on the 23rd of August, the sit-up challenge on the 30th, and then we've got the big race day on the 18th of September. So lots to look forward to. And as I said, please check out the website and join us. I'm just going to stop sharing for a second. Are you still there, Joe?
Absolutely, Chris. Thanks for that presentation, taking us a little deeper. I mean, the numbers are absolutely incredible. $10 million and 8,000 rangers supported. Just what a great initiative.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been loads of organizations coming together. It's been just a hugely collaborative effort. And, I think what's phenomenal about it is the Scheinberg Relief Fund have also sort of underwritten all of the admin costs of it. So everything that you donate goes to the field, goes to the guys on the ground. So we've been really lucky to have such strong support from them. But then also we've got a number of kind of really keen and supportive partners involved. Tusk and Natural State. We've got the Game Rangers Association of Africa, International Ranger Federation, Thin Green Line, Scheinberg Relief Fund. All of these partners are sort of supporting the organization of it, and then we've also got a number of partners that are getting involved sort of in supporting the kind of collaborating to really amplify the messaging. So we've got the Nature Conservancy, Conservation International, FFI, Rewild, ZSL, and then of course we've got all of the ranger teams on the ground, and I can't name them all right now, but these are the guys that are doing all of the phenomenal work, and we just want to give them the platform to continue doing the important stuff that they do on a daily basis, and hopefully to help alleviate some of the kind of funding challenges that they have experienced over the last 12 months, and give a little bit of a buffer while we wait for kind of the recovery of some of the tourism sector across Africa. As I said, it's going to be slow. We recognize that this pandemic's not going away quickly, so we just want to support all of those ranger teams to continue the hard work that they do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and a great list of organizations that you shared there. We'll be touching base with many of them throughout the day today, and hearing some of the stories and meeting some of the rangers associated with those organizations. It's absolutely great. So I heard about the challenge this year and the success it was, and I'm curious, is there any way to tune into the challenge in any way, either any of the kind of the smaller events or the larger event?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Joe. So, as I said, the website is got a load of information. There's quizzes. There's information on there on how to register to run in the challenge, to register for all of the events. So, if you're if you want to have a little physical challenge to work towards over the next couple of months, that'll obviously be lots of fun. But hopefully we can also get some people engaged in providing a bit of funding towards all these organizations. And as I said, 100% of what you're giving is going to hit the ground, and also the Scheinberg Relief Fund are going to double your impact by matching any funds that you give. So, please do go online and please donate and support this. And hopefully we can try and hit the $5 million target for this year. And and we really want to make this an annual event. So, we're wanting to grow it, and hopefully we can even expand out of Africa in future. But, it's something that, we just have seen how enthusiastic all the teams have got. We've got a sort of a WhatsApp group that runs with all of the Ranger teams, and they're constantly posting things on their training runs or whatever. So it's great to see kind of how excited everyone gets about it, and kind of the kind of camaraderie that's being developed between the different Ranger teams, and also connecting them. Many of these conservation areas haven't necessarily had a reason to connect or communicate in the past, and so hopefully it's sort of developing a network of rangers across Africa. So if there are any protected areas out there as well, not just the public, but any other protected areas that are listening today that want to get involved, we're also inviting other teams to come and kind of run in solidarity. So if you want to enter a team from your protected area to take part in the event, please do. All of the information is on the website.
All right. Well, that WhatsApp group sounds like a lot of fun. I'm sure there's a little bit of gamesmanship going on with, posting the runs and the training routines and.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's great. That's great. And the match is so important, right? What an incentive to give, knowing that you can double the impact. So really exciting to have that happening.
Yeah, it just gives a really good kickstart to it, Joe, and gets us moving in the right direction. And I think we've already just from this first week, we've secured I think another 250,000 this week. So yeah, we're moving in the right direction. And so we've got a couple of months to go, and hopefully by the 18th of September, we've already activated all of the match, and hopefully we've raised some more beyond that. So that's the plan.
All right. Well, Chris, you mentioned collaboration, and I wonder, with last year's event, did any interesting collaborations come to be from that event with different reserves or different organizations?
I think it's just more not necessarily about sort of single collaborations that come out of it, but it's more about just everyone coming together and pulling in the same direction, and trying to ensure that we raised as much money as possible. And I think importantly, it's an opportunity for everyone to understand a bit more about rangers in other areas, and develop that kind of knowledge. But also we're much more powerful in terms of fundraising if we can do it as a collective.
Oh, yeah.
And so having all of those teams sign up, and I think some of the teams last year, I think we had about 10 teams last year that individually managed to raise over 100,000 each. And that was that was not including the match from last year. So it's just a great opportunity for them to kind of raise their profile and raise money. And so we really view the Wildlife Ranger Challenge as a platform to enable organizations to raise money and raise their profile and etc. So we're just really kind of providing them the tools to do it. And we've got this fantastic team that's behind it and organizing it, and just getting some momentum and getting moving. So I just wanted to extend thanks once again to you, Joe, for giving us a chance today to join your really cool event. I had a quick listen in previously, and I'll join for a few more events over the course of the day. So thank you so much.
Oh, Chris, I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming in and really kind of highlighting the challenge, because we've been trying to raise some funds as well through this event, and we would like to push a good portion of what we are able to raise to this fund as well, because it's such a great cause. It's so great. I love the camaraderie between the ranger groups, and how excited they are to be with each other, and they really see each other as brothers and sisters and fighting that good fight together.
Yeah, I think last year on the sort of WhatsApp group, it just so coincided with that sort of big. I don't know if you remember, there was that big kind of Jerusalem dance kind of movement that was sort of going viral, and so quite a few of the Ranger teams sort of did their own version of the Jerusalem dance, and they were posting that, and there was a lot of fun had. So it's obviously about raising money and raising awareness, but it's also, I think at the heart of it, it's also about having some fun.
All right. Excellent. Well, Chris, again, thank you so much. I'm going to gather together 22 kilograms of kit, because I want to see what that's like on my back, and maybe start off easy walking the dog, and then go from there and see what I can build up to by September, because it's so amazing. A marathon with 22 kilograms or 15 kilograms on your back. Wow. Just amazing. Yeah. What a great group, and so strong and able to patrol and protect these massive areas. The numbers, when you hear them, sometimes are staggering.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, we don't have enough rangers, and we don't, for many rangers around the world, they operate under hugely challenging conditions. And so, every single one of them needs our support, and, hopefully we can really gather momentum for the sector and allow people to understand just how important they are. I heard this really staggering statistic the other day, Joe, that we've got an estimated 1 million rangers on the planet globally. But in terms of the number of private security people that we have protecting just infrastructure globally, it's about 30 million. So, we've got 30 million people that are standing outside buildings, and we've got 1 million people protecting our nature. So, we need to do something about that.
Yeah, no question. Well, Chris, so great to see you virtually. Something very exciting to look forward to at the end of the summer. And thank you for the work that you and your team do. And thanks for joining us today.
Well, thanks, Joe, for having me. But I mean, really, the thanks is to all the Rangers. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Joe. Keep well.
Okay, excellent. Well, I'm going to put that link up. I mean, we're going to put the link up several times throughout the course of the day, but let's get that up there one more time.